Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and today we are discussing a sequel movie from an original trilogy. We've done every single movie in this franchise apart from this one. We've sort of missed this one out for some strange reason, so we're putting this right now. We are going to be talking Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So as I said, we've discussed all the prequels, we've discussed the originals, and we've just discussed the last two of the sequels. For some reason, we skipped this one, but now we are going to talk it. So, Susan, what's your opening thoughts on The Force Awakens?
I liked it. When I first saw it, I was pleased. I do understand that people have said that it is nothing but a complete redux of Episode 4, A New Hope, and the only reason I think that people say that is because of the fact that it starts on a desert planet and it takes a while for them to arrange to leave that desert planet, and then it ends up on another, a woodsy planet for sure, and that the Star Killer base is like the Death Star, but
way bigger.
But way bigger. Let me just say that I do see that argument, but I also see that they really tried to do something new, and because it was directed by J.J. Abrams, some of the new stuff they did was stuff that he's done in his other things like Lost and his other movies and things like that. He's got a certain style, and so he did things in that. But then because they used so much of the original crew, it was done rather scientifically to actually be canon accurate in every sense. Yeah. They rebuilt the Millennium Falcon to exacting specifications in Pinewood Studios. It was shot on the same soundstage as the first movie was, as Episode 4. And because they use the same crew, they're going to get some of the same feelings generated, which is good, that's what they were going for. And because it was helmed by Kathleen Kennedy instead of Lucas, they really started aiming towards some powerful female characters to encourage and strengthen the ones that were already there. And those characters were this Rey and Maz Kanata and Captain Phasma, and then there was Ben Solo, and there were, in the Legends books, the ones that we read right after Return of the Jedi, the ones that started with the Yuzan Vong and then the Cerubi and then all these other just legendary, what is now considered legends. Ben was the name of Luke's son, and Jason and Jaina were the names of Leia and Han's kids.
Wow. I didn't know that.
So they did completely at the creation of this movie, they retconned all of that that history all the way out into the future.
That's always a fear when they do sequels. You,
I know.
you get like any franchise, if you've got novels and stuff like that, what is allegedly canon, but if a movie comes up or a new TV series comes up, they never involve any of what's been written before.
Yeah.
You just have to get on with, just put that to a side,
Yeah.
and
So
get on
the
with it.
expanded universe basically starts over again.
Yeah.
At the end of Return of the Jedi, and so it takes people like Dave Filoni, who's a fan of everything, every single part of this, ends up in his being brought into his canon or his anyway. He's the one who fixes the canon issue eventually. I really like Rey. I really think that she's great. I actually I have an in the case Rey figure. Haven't taken it out to play with her. She's great, and she's got a little lightsaber, and I'm just really so I had to get a lightsaber, a little lightsaber that's a bubble. It's actually bubbles, but it is Anakin's and Luke's first lightsaber, Anakin's third lightsaber anyway. Yeah. So that's fun. And then I also have BB-8 and R2D2 as a little like thing for hanging off of the, and then there is an X-wing in the back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's got some fun stuff, and so yeah, R2D2 and BB-8 are the droids are the cutest in in the thing, and we're also anticipating the upcoming story, a droid story, which I think would probably have to do with R2, 3PO, and various other droids, because R2 and Chopper are basically the droids that have seen the most airtime, and 3PO needs some more airtime. So anyway, even though he was in this, to once again be a cock block for Han and Leia.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
He just interrupts them all the time, and he was so proud of his new arm. He was like, I'm going to interrupt them again, and I bet he did that a lot. I bet that's why their marriage didn't last very long, because 3PO was always interrupting them in the middle of trying to work it out. Yeah, so I liked it, and I liked the Chewbacca was played part of the time by Peter Mayhew, even though he couldn't really do much.
Yeah.
Before his passing, and I mean this really was like the last hurrah for Peter and for Carrie. I just can't even. Yeah, I can't even with that. So yeah, those are my opening thoughts, and I know I said a lot, but there you go. You asked.
Well, also as well, was Kenny Baker still around when this was filmed?
Oh, I don't know. This could have been. No, this
could
was
have been.
Jimmy V.
Was this his Jimmy V's debut? Was it?
Yeah, this was Jimmy V's debut.
So yeah, so Kenny Baker was no longer involved in this then.
Jimmy V was great because he was in Doctor Who. He played Banakafalata.
Yeah.
Matt Smith episodes.
Um,
No, I'm sorry, David Tennant.
call yourself a Whovian.
No. Just give me a sec. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll put a bell noise over or a honking noise over what you just said there. For me, I like this movie. Out of the three sequels, you've got new characters. And these new characters have got something to do in this movie. As the new trilogy goes along, I felt the characters of Finn and Poe were left on the wayside in the next two movies. Not much to do, but in this movie, the story sort of revolves around them and Rey, which it's a good thing. And then you say you've got Chewbacca, you've got C-3PO, R2-D2, Han Solo back, and of course Leia. So it's good to see familiar faces as well, handing over the baton, shall we say?
Yeah.
And also we get the little glimpse of Luke at the end. But yeah, I can see why people say it's just a rehash of New Hope. There is very big similarities,
Very.
but you can get over that. Enjoy the story. I mean, yeah, you've got Rey, no parents, as you know, as we know in this movie, no parents. They've gone, they've disappeared, they've been taken away, they've left her. But we know what's to come at the end of the trilogy. So that's very similar with Luke's character. No parents, on a sand planet, on a and then you've got Kylo Ren, should I say, as sort of taking the place of Darth Vader.
Yeah, in a remarkable way. Yes.
In a remarkable way, even though he worships the burnt out helmet of Vader.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how he got hold of that. Because you'd have thought at the end of Return of the Jedi, Luke and Leia would have buried the remains or taken Anakin's remains somewhere. Like Luke's like the lightsaber. How did what's her name?
Maz Kanata
get hold of that? Was that ever explained?
I don't know.
That was the lightsaber what went flying down with his hand, wasn't it, in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
In Cloud City. I don't know. Unless a workman found it at the bottom of a air duct somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't really explained.
Or Lando eventually went back and
Yeah, maybe.
for it.
But to me, this movie, as you said, maybe it's because there's a bit of similarity from the original, that you get the feel of Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
You do get the feel of a Star Wars. The two films following this, not so much. My opinion only. I mean, there's mostly people out there what feel the same, but this one did feel like a Star Wars movie. And as I say, Harrison Ford finally got his wish to be killed, to kill the character off. He wanted to do that in Empire Strikes Back, didn't he? So one of the leading characters gets killed off by the bad guy with a lightsaber, like Obi-Wan did in A New Hope.
Yep.
He just falls. I mean, I don't know where he went down. He just fell off the walkway, didn't he, into whatever that was down there. So it was good, as you say, it was good to see the Millennium Falcon rebuilt to as it was back in 1978. It was good to see that back in action. That went through a fair few knocks though, as it crash landed, and
Yeah.
great action scenes in this.
Yeah.
And also we get Lord
Snoke.
Snoke, yeah, played by
Andy Serkis.
yes.
Oh my gosh. He's gone from Gollum to Snoke. I mean,
it's not explained who he is in this or in the next one, but you sort of get the gist of who he is in the Rise of Skywalker. We all know he's a clone. He's a clone of the Emperor. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Because you see all the tanks in Rise of Skywalker with all Snokes in them.
Yeah.
I'll be that one today. so even this is set. What is it? 30 years after Return.
Yeah.
30 years after Return, the Emperor is still pulling the strings on the Order, on Kylo
On the
Ren,
whole galaxy.
on the whole. Yeah, he's the biggest puppet master in movie franchise history, I would say.
Yeah, literally, other than like a lot of the other stuff in the Star Wars universe coming out of Foundation, out of Isaac Asimov's Foundation, the Emperor. Let me just say that the Emperor and his abilities and his control and all of that is there's nothing like that in the whole history of humanity, like that's explored in that. So I mean, the Emperor is a really, really cool character, and Ian McDermott, eats all the scenery all the time, and Andy Serkis is fantastic. There is nobody who can wear a mask and do that better than Andy Serkis. I just, he was great in Planet of the Apes, and of course he's,
precious
Smeagol Gollum and
but also as well, Andy Serkis, an actor in front of the camera. When you see his normal face, he's a very, very good actor. Just without the CGI, without the stuff like that. If you ever get to watch the biopic, I don't know if you ever heard of Ian Jury in America. Ian Jury and the Blockheads.
No.
They were sort of coming out of punk, going into the early 80s sort of music. The biggest hit was "Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick." Andy Serkis played Ian Jury in the biopic movie of his life. I can't remember what it was called. Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, I think it was called.
Oh, okay. Because he was also he also played a small role in 24-Hour Party People when he played Martin Hannett, the guy who worked with New Order and Joy Division and all those, and Happy Mondays, all those Manchester things.
Yes, and also he played two parts in King Kong.
Oh, I don't remember.
Well, he was Kong for a start.
Yeah.
And I think he also played Chef in the team of people that was on Kong Island, Skull Island.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we digress. Let's go back to the.
We've got to talk about Andy Serkis though, because he's fantastic. He really has created a beautiful art form, and the fact that he took Lupita Nyong'o under his wings and like helped her with her when she was doing Maz's face and Maz's acting and stuff, they worked together on that. So he taught somebody else how to do that whole wearing the dots and creating the image.
That character as well built up a great character. Finding the lightsaber. She's had it for years. In this, and then the two movies following, the character's just let down.
I know.
Like as I say with Finn and Poe, this movie is theirs along with Rey. But the two movies following, you think, well, why are they there? But let's go back to the character of Finn, a stormtrooper. Sort of a similar story to what we discussed yesterday in audio form of Soldier of the Empire.
Yes.
A stormtrooper. Go on, you go ahead.
Stormtroopers have I mean they're vulnerable. They're wearing plastic armor. They aren't seriously dangerous because they can't shoot straight. But in this one, they've gained a little bit of experience. Yeah. Their accuracy is good, and they're not all the old clones from Rogue One and A New Hope. Is that those were a lot of the old clones. Is that these ones are people taken from all over, and much like Soldier for the Empire, taken when they're really young as kids, and then grown up and stuff, and the way they were portrayed in the holiday special was that they were like American police, like they just break into your house, they'll destroy your property, looking for anything to do with the rebellion, and then take off and stuff. And so, that was you could see that from there that Finn had a moment, and I really liked the character of Finn because he came to a realization, like they'd stopped using inhibitor chips, and they had just started taking kids as early as possible. But Finn really had a moment, and I think it's because he's partially Force sensitive, actually. But I'll let you finish up this discussion.
Yeah, well, you sort of get the idea that he knows something about the Force. Because he wields the lightsaber, I think, more than Rey does in this movie. I mean, she does get it at the end of the movie and starts wielding it, but then, as far as I remember, in the other two movies after this, they don't really go down that route, do they? With him?
No.
Is this what I mean? This movie sets things up which you expect are going to be answered in the next two movies, and I don't know what happened with Last Jedi. Maybe the director, but we won't go into that.
Speaking of the director, so you could tell that this was a J.J. Abrams movie, the very first scene, because of all the lens flares.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like shot at night, and there's all these lens flares, and you're like, oh, is this Star Trek? Oh, is this any of his other stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, that sometimes can get a bit annoying. I'm not a big fan.
That's the only thing that I mean. Other than that, he was really scientific about this. I mean, he was actually trying to, he had a lot of integrity. He brought a lot of integrity to his work with Star Wars. He didn't play fast and loose with any of the rules.
That's
He
true.
just added lens flares to everything.
Lens flares. Put lens flares. Yeah, we'll have a bit of lens flares there. It was also good to see. I can't remember the character's name. Lando's co-pilot return from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Is it Numb or something?
Just a moment. I've got it.
Because I always thought that character could have been more fleshed out in Return of the Jedi or in this, to be honest. I think it's Numb. What his name is. I don't know why they have so many strange names.
Num.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they could have fleshed that character out a bit more because we said they brought him back from Return of the Jedi. So this movie,
and it had such a great cast. I mean, I'm going down it now, and it had Harriet Walter, it had Ken Leung, it had Warwick Davis, it had Maisie Richardson Sellers.
Yeah.
It had Greg Grunberg, who was in a lot of things. It had Pip Torrens, of course, and
there's one name you haven't come up to yet.
Simon Pegg.
You know, I'm thinking more of Max von Sydow.
Max von Sydow, yep, and Gwendolyn Christie.
Yeah.
Who was, I think, in the middle of shooting Game of Thrones and took time off to shoot this.
That's another character. What didn't really develop in the next movie. Great character in this, but then it was just left to the wayside in the next movie. I don't know why, you know, characters are sort of left hanging high and dry sometimes.
Yeah, and then there was Domhnall Gleeson as General Hux, who was who ended up like turning on the First Order eventually.
Eventually, yeah. But he got his comeuppance by Richard E. Grant.
It's true.
So this movie cost of a budget of about $306 million to make, and it raked a bit in at the box office. It was over $2 billion at the box office, so it didn't do too shabby, did it?
No, it did really great, and one more cool addition to the thing was Admiral Akbar.
Oh yes, yeah, in the rebellion conference thing, yeah. And another character from Return of the Jedi fleshed out a bit here. Then in the next movie, gone. So, have we done favourite moments? Have we? I think we have, haven't we? I just get so involved talking Star Wars, I can't remember where we were at.
Yeah, I don't know if we've done them, but I've got a few.
Go on then.
Oh wait, and Thomas Brodie Sangster is also a First Order, and then guy who plays James Bond. What's his name again?
The guy who plays James Bond, Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig played the stormtrooper who let Rey go. So that was Daniel Craig in his stormtrooper outfit. I don't know. You can't. It's too many names. It's got too many casts. Anyway, yeah, the people who wanted to be in this were, you know, a million. There was a million people who wanted to be in it. One of the fans actually got in it, won the donated to a Force for Good and kind of like an Omaze thing, and then received word that they were going to be in the, and so they ended up playing a stormtrooper, and
Cool.
that is, you know, that's so sweet. That they involve the fans, and that they knew that they had to involve the fans and keep the fans and stuff. And for this one alone, I mean, that's impressive and good.
I mean, do you think when Mark Hamill got the script,
Yeah.
he was flicking through the pages? Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Han Solo, where am I? Where am I?
Well, he apparently during the read through, he read all of the business and everything that wasn't character read by a character in the script.
Mhm.
So I mean, basically, he took over where George Lucas Lucas usually was the one who would read the whole script through and put all the actions and the business and do the opening crawl and everything. That was all read by Mark Hamill
Oh, nice.
in the read through, so he knew where he was going.
I mean, you know, I've seen videos of Mark Hamill on YouTube at conventions and on his Twitter
Yes.
feed and stuff like that, and he is for the fans. He comes across as one of the nicest guys
Yep.
in the biz, and he replies to people, you know, on his Twitter feed. He makes brilliant videos. He just seems a right down to earth guy, and he lives and breathes Star Wars.
Yep.
And also the Joker.
Yes. Yes, yes.
He lives and breathes comics.
He's
But
like,
he is one of the nice guys of the business, I would say.
yeah.
It was good to see him at the end of this. Yeah, you knew it was him. You knew it was going to be him, but just when he turned around, the little kid in me went, "Oh, it's Luke."
Yeah. That's what happened to that's what happened to me when I saw the Luke come back in The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I got tears in my eyes. I mean, literally, yeah.
Mark Hamill has.
Luke is the hope.
Yeah,
Luke is actually,
us all.
yeah, yeah.
And also, I mean, this is very apt as well. We're talking about this movie, Harrison Ford. This movie is the way he broke his leg.
Oh yeah.
Where the Millennium Falcon door shut on his leg and broke his leg. And just lately, in the past week or so ago, Harrison's injured himself while filming the new indie movie. he's very jinx guy, isn't he?
He's got some
bad. He's got some bad juju.
issues. Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, but you would never tell that he was filming with a broken leg.
I know.
I think he was in plaster, but he had a contraption on his leg, sort of like he was running, and it was like the contraption was like on tracks or on wheels, so you couldn't really see any difference in his movement.
I didn't know that, but yeah, that makes sense.
Well, God, I bet the air was blue when that door shut on his leg. I don't know. So, anything else we can say about this movie?
This was the last bit of live footage that Carrie Fisher shot in her life. She shot this one and the next two movies. She had, basically set aside.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, was it Raz of Skywalker? They used unused footage from this one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Last Jedi. Well, we won't talk about that Mary Poppins bit.
I know, that was amazing.
Yeah.
It's because that galaxy a long time ago, way over there, has air in it. That's why all the spaceships make noise. That's why all the the fires are really big on the outside of ships and things. Yeah.
Well, in space, you wouldn't see blaster fire.
Right. And because you can see it, there's air there. I just stand by this. This is their galaxy. It's their rules. They don't have to have the same physics as us. It's not a vacuum. It's full of air.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
Oh, I can't remember the name of the creature, but the creature's what Han and Chewie was transporting in the hangars of the ship. Oh, they were brilliant. I can't remember the name of the creature, but the way they saw off the bad guys, it was just, it's all these tentacles, wasn't it?
And they'd roll. They wouldn't just they weren't like blobby. They would get proper momentum going, and
that was a fun bit. I loved that bit in the movie. That was pretty good. So, also, each side people were coming for Han because they owed people money, as always. He always does.
and Ray, like Finn was all wrapped up in the tentacles, and Ray shut the door on him, and they're still flopping around.
Yeah, did you see that? Did you see that? The door just shut on you. Yeah, that was lucky, wasn't it?
That was great.
I mean, I've been meaning to ask about, now, it may have been explained in the animated series, Rebels or Clone Wars, C-3PO's arm.
That's actually in a comic book.
No, it's in a comic book. Right. Because it wasn't explained in the movie.
Yeah, but it is, there's an adventure to do with that in a comic book.
You see, but not every person reads the comics. So
it was just a way to cock block Leia and Han again.
Let's make his arm red.
And let's get him right in the middle of those two again.
You mostly didn't recognize me with my new arm.
Yeah. And Anthony Daniels is, so generous, and he's like such a great guy. I just can't, they give him such silliness and such, superbly awkward moments. That he has to act through without using his face, and he's just.
Anthony Daniels is a serious actor.
Yeah.
But you can't see anybody else playing 3PO, can you? No. He nailed it from day one back in 1977.
Yeah. Yes. And the comic book, they may have like a video, because sometimes Star Wars fans have done videos where they use voices or use voice synthesizers to make stories, like audio stories with the comic books on YouTube.
All right.
So they're called Star Wars audio comics.
I'll have to have a look at those.
Yeah, there are quite a few, and I'm not sure if the one with
There's a hell of a lot of Star Wars stuff on YouTube,
true,
which I only recently discovered with those audio dramas. So, if we haven't got anything more to say about this movie, shall we go into final sense score?
Sure.
Over to you then.
All right. Well, I was really excited about this movie when it came out. What was it? 2000.
Was it 2015?
2012. Let me see.
It was 2015.
Yep. Okay. In 2015, I was I was really excited about this, and I went to the theater and I brought my lightsaber, and I was like,
So, can I ask then? And I know I have heard about when the Phantom Menace was released, people walking out of it.
Nobody walked out of this one.
I was going to say, I bet nobody walked out of this one.
Yeah.
Just shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I never heard of anybody walking out of the Phantom Menace because the wait was so long to get in.
Ah, right, yeah.
I mean, in my city, it was playing on the one theater that they had upgraded to THX, the full THX sound, and there was usually daily a line that went around the block.
Not bad.
So I mean, it was a well attended movie, and nobody walked out that I ever saw. But I only saw it twice back then because of the wait in the line. But I did wait overnight for it to open.
I might be getting Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones mixed up, but
yeah,
you never know. Anyways, back to you.
Anyway, so I'll give this 10 BB-8s out of 10. I enjoyed it, and I loved the fact that John Williams had such a good time again writing beautiful music for it, and the cast was amazing, and everybody wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
And other than a few lens flares, it was just J.J. Abrams actually did it justice. So yeah. And so what about you, Lee?
Yeah, I enjoyed this. It was a good return to form from the prequels. I'm not saying that, but Revenge of the Sith is one of my favourites, but it was good return to form. I say they brought some of the classic characters back, brought some new characters, fleshed them out, and gave them some sort of backstories. And this was the new kickstart of the new trilogy. And out of the three, the two to follow on this one, this is my favourite one. Force Awakens. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 10 Millennium Falcons out of 10, of course.
10 what?
Millennium Falcons out of 10.
Nice, very good.
Because it's an enjoyable movie. yeah, people say, yeah, as we've mentioned, it's sort of a rehash of New Hope. But hey, New Hope was brilliant.
Yeah, it really
So
was.
you just steal from the best.
Yeah, it really was. Yes.
So that is our long-awaited review of The Force Awakens. We have done the
But
full.
what we've been doing podcasts since
Oh,
14, and so this one we should have done this one about 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
do you know? I'm positive we did it, but it's not on our playlist. I don't know. we must have skipped it and gone straight to Last Jedi. I don't know.
No, I think that we did. Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah, but we've
I
done it
don't know.
now. We've eventually got the full set. We've
Yeah.
done the prequels. We've done the sequels. We've done the originals. All we've got to do now is the Ewok movies.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe next year.
Right.
So I'd like to thank Susan for joining me talking The Force Awakens, because I know she loves Star Wars. Anything Star Wars. There's a little Dolly Ray. So you guys out there, let me know what you thought of this movie. Please leave a comment below. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, Instagram. Please, and when you're on YouTube and you subscribe to our channel, please press the bell button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And look, she's showing off all her merch. And also, if you'd like to be on our casts, all we ask is that you're 18, run over, you've got a PC, laptop, tablet with a camera and a microphone, and we'll get you on. Just message me on any of those social medias, or platforms, or Susan or whatever, or any of the members when they're here, and we'll try and get you on. So yes, there's R2 and BB-8. BB-8's a brilliant little robot as well. So,
Yeah.
we didn't really say much about BB-8 in this cast, but great design for toy merchandise.
Yes. My younger brother has a BB-8 that you can operate via his cell phone.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's fun.
You've got to say what you've got to say about Lucas film and Disney. They really know how to sell.
They've got the merch. Yes.
Oh yeah, they've got the merch. So until next time, folks, please be safe, and remember, may the Force be with you.
And also with you.